I help people. I was always, incongruent. I wasn't able to help people the way that I wanted to help people because I myself was not unified in my system. And I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but it's not that I wanted to be a hypocrite, but you're kind of a hypocrite because, there I was trying to talk about, oh, we're one human family and we all have to get along and I'm a great, my calling is world peace and all this, but I wasn't unified inside my system. And so I wasn't resonating that the kind of groundedness and rootedness and authenticity and integrity, they call it. They call it integrity. And I'm not saying I think I wobble. I think there's a wobble, still, and I can live with that. But I think most of me is pretty solid now, and I'm resonating, and I found my voice. And I know I found my voice because my brain has healed, and I can express myself now in English and French. So the hidden disability for me was I was like blocked of expressing myself in French, which is my mother tongue. Maybe somebody can relate to this, because trauma affects the brain in such a way that it kind of hides memories. And it affects your system in such a way that it kind of takes your energy field and it makes a mess out of it. It tangles it up. So the processes that I use in my work are actually to untangle those problems and straighten you up, So, and I like to do my work in a very lighthearted, loving, and gentle way that is full of storytelling and singing and amusement and fun, because, and it's very spiritual and it uses a lot of stories. Like I channel the energy of horses, for instance, in my work, because I really believe that horses are very, very powerful and healing creatures that we need to connect to. I talk about that the soul of our soul is like the rider and the body is the horse. So I talk about things like that because I find them helpful, because they're practical ways to look at yourself, to understand yourself, and really we need to understand ourselves. We need to understand what makes us function and what makes us tick and what makes us because if we want to grow, and we all are going to grow, no matter how we look at it, no matter how we're like contracted and kicking and screaming and saying, oh, I don't want to grow, I don't want to grow, I don't want to change.
Change is hard, right?
Well, it doesn't have to be, Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, that's my message, is it doesn't have to be. And another energy that I channel is Mary Poppins.
Excellent.
So she kind of showed up one day. She floated down from the sky with her umbrella, right? Remember? And then she just rapped on the door with the umbrella, and they opened the door and they said, who are you? And she said, well, I'm here because you called on me, right? Mary Poppins, you need me. And they were like all surprised, but the family was devastated by the loss of the mother. There was no mother figure in there, so she shows up and she takes charge and works her magic, and she uses her suitcase full of tools, and and that's how I want to be. That's how I want to do my things. I want to show up and I want to sing, oh, just a spoonful of sugar makes the the medicine go down. Because the truth of the matter is that the world is in a state of tremendous change. And there's not a single one of us that isn't affected by it. We're all worried, we're all concerned, we're all anxious, we're all having, different issues and problems, and we can't help it. No matter if we have everything and we're like in a state, oh, I'm in nirvana or I'm enlightened, I'm sorry, but the truth, we have to tell ourselves the truth. The environment that we're living in is under tremendous amount of crisis and difficulty. And those of us that understand that, it's our time to rise up and express ourselves. So that's why finally I got myself in action and started expressing myself, because for the last 5 years I've been practically mute in English and French. So now I'm talking and expressing myself and verbalizing my message, and who knows what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't know. It depends on the situation, right? But in this particular place, and I don't want to talk for much longer because I want to give you Lolly a chance and whoever else is going to talk. It's very important to understand that those of us who have these abilities, these differing abilities, are vitally important to raise our voices.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm here to say tonight. Those of us who are experiencing life in a different way than the so-called normal people experience life, we have to really talk, and the reason why is because all forms of violence are categorically forbidden by the Creator now. So anything that smacks of prejudice and control and force and aggression and emotional blackmail and put downs and labeling and all of that, it's got to go.
Excellent. Well, I love what you're saying. I think your message is one that will be heard by many, because that you're talking about having that voice. That's huge. That's one of my good friends who happens to be a wheelchair user. He has a stutter. He has a challenge actually communicating, but given that chance, like, just slow down. And one of his lines that I've said over and over, because he's said it so many times to me, is, look at my ability, not my disability. And it's all about, we all have something in us that needs to be shared, and we all can learn from each other. We don't have enough time in life to experience everything. We need to learn from each other and remember that we don't know where they've walked. We don't know the path they've gone. We've all had different experiences, so that the more compassion and open ears that we can have, the better. It'll make it better for everyone.
It'll make it better for everyone. And anybody who has any kind of a bodily difficulty, challenge or whatever, if you think of the body like a horse, then I think that it'll make you recognize that you're still strong.
Right.
You still have capacity. You still have it. Your body is something that you have to love. It's truly a gift. And the more you love on your body and appreciate it and encourage it, actually, the more it will cooperate with you.
Excellent. I think that's actually a perfect transition here. If we can bring you, Lily, into the conversation. Actually, I'm going to pass it back to Emily again. If you could pretty please give an introduction to you, Lily, to be joining us.
Yeah, so we met her through the Happy Neighborhood Project. and she is with Neo Life International, and helping everybody get all the nutrition that they need. So, Yearly, I'm going to introduce yourself a little bit.
Well, thank you very much, Emily, for that introduction. I appreciate it. And thank you, Sue and Kurt, for giving me this opportunity to share. And Shirley, it's a pleasure meeting you virtually. I hope maybe one day we can meet in person as well. First of all, Shirley, thank you. Because all you said just now is just so powerful. And there's so many things in there that are true, because unfortunately, too many people look at persons with disabilities and think, oh, they're over there, they're not like me because I'm perfect. Well, sorry to say, none of us is perfect. And those of us who may not have an obvious disability, we do have other disabilities within us. We are shortchanged in other areas. And one of the things I've always noticed and admired in persons with disabilities is that they seem to have a strength, an endurance, something unique about them. It's as though God said, okay, there's a shortfall here, but I'm going to lift you up here. I mean, when I saw, even just recently, I saw a swimmer who had no arms, and he was in one of the races. And it's just mind-boggling, because we take so much for granted that we need our hands and we need our feet and we have to do this and we have to do that. And when you have a disability, it brings out your strength in other areas that many of us just sort of take for granted, or we think, oh, I could never do that because. So I always admire persons with disabilities, and I just think, how can I help? How can I reach out? How can I share? I may not be able to, go to your home and feed you, but I'm sure there are other ways that we can. And I know even with my own nutrition, yes, I can share with that. But the point is that we all have, and she brought this out when she mentioned about prejudice and hate, and there is so much anger and hate nowadays. Why can't we just flip that switch and turn it around and show love and compassion? Because I tell you what, when you reach out to someone and you share something amazing with them, or just a smile, or just say hi, it changes everything. And it makes you wonder what has caused all of this negativity and so on to other people. Where has it come from? Where did it come from? Was it there all along, or what has started it? But at least those of us who know that we can live above it, we can rise above it, we can be better, we can, in spite of all the anger or hate, we can still show love. And there's so many ways to do that. And so I think just on a daily basis, as we reach out to others and we share, that's how we let others know. That's how we share. It's like giving each person a handout, because people are not looking for a handout. They're looking for a handout. And that's what we all should do. And treat other people the way we want to be treated. Because, but that's one of the things I distinctly remember growing up as a child in the Caribbean. That's one of the things my parents always said: respect yourself, but also treat other people the way you want to be treated. And when you think about it, it's true, because how can if I want other people to show kindness to me or to be helpful to me, how can I just be unkind and mean and ugly to someone else? There's a misfit, there's an unbalance there. And so we have to learn to do that and share with each other. We have to be grateful that we're alive every day. And there's always some good that we can share with others. And so I do appreciate this opportunity that you have given me, Sue and Emily and Kurt. And hopefully we can do this another time. And let us know, or at least for me, I know, let me know how we can help and how we can support and how we can share. But my voice is always to reach out, to be encouraging, because even in my business with my team, many times they think, oh, I'm not doing well, or this week has been terrible. I said, but you know what? Tomorrow is another day. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? And I just even had a recent incident of one of my colleagues, and she was saying, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. This business is not working for me. I'm not giving it up, but I do want. And then 2 days ago, she says, guess what? I was able to talk to these people, and now I have a one-on-one, and so it's just, you keep on persevering. Keep on persevering, one foot in front of the other, one day at a time, and we will eventually get there. So thank you for giving me this time.
I'm so glad you're here. Actually, I'm going to just bring back to Shirley. Did that spark any thoughts that you want to share right away?
I think the work you're doing is phenomenal, Yulali. It's amazing. It's Happy Neighborhoods, you said?
Well, the Happy Neighborhood is a networking group that I've participated in. I'm a part of.
Okay, maybe I'll give you a phone call after and get more information, okay?
Sure. Actually, Kurt and I think both Kurt and Sue had one of the groups.
I think I'm getting the emails.
Yeah. Oh. Kurt, do you have anything you'd like to?
Probably not.
Kurt, do you have anything you'd like to add? Or go ahead, Shirley, if you were talking. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No. Does Kurt want to talk?
Do I want to talk?
Well, yes, he does.
Oh yeah, always good to talk. So Shirley, welcome aboard AbilityMKE Now. Yuli, great to have you a part of the work we do here. Yes, Sue, Emily, and I, we host every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Central, Happy Neighborhood Project, happyneighborhoodproject.com, a short link of hmpabc.com, and Happy Business Networking, the happiest place in the world for business people. We even have our zip code that spans the globe. HAPPY zip code. It covers every place on planet Earth. Yeah, we're enjoying our disability advocacy radio here. The conversation is kicking off really well. You, Lily, I want to ask you a little bit on the other side of what you do in serving people. Tell us a little bit more about the success you're having, the reviews people give you for your home business, and kind of what's going on in the services and the products that you have.
Oh, well, thanks for asking me to do that. So what we're hearing is, because the products are actually feeding and nourishing the cells, it's actually, and they're made from whole foods. So no chemicals, no dyes, no colors, no sugars. They're feeding and nourishing and protecting and balancing the cells. So persons with any type of underlying illness, it's actually making a change in their lives. A lady who was suffering with restless leg syndrome. Now, granted, we don't cure, we don't heal, we don't diagnose, but we focus on the cells. And she started taking the products, and in about 3 weeks, she called me. She says, you know what? I'm feeling a difference. So the products do help because they are pure. They're not natural, because natural could be coal or something like that, or bark. But they are pure. They go through a rigorous testing, and they're designed to help the entire family, because what has happened is companies for many years, and they're still doing it, have been milling out the nutrition out of our bodies. That's why we're getting sick. And so what our company has said, let's flip that switch And let's help people live better, look better, feel better with the products that we carry. And there are three different lines. We look after the inner body, we look after the outer body with our nutrients and skincare line, and then we have a home care line, a golden home care, healthy cleaning products, as well as laundry detergent. So we take care of the entire family. And we're seeing so much success and so much growth. And I mean, if there's one thing I can say about our company, for all the 64 years we've been in business, we've never, ever had a product recall. And that speaks volumes for our company.
That is
So
impressive.
that's what today. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. So I hear actually a lot of similarities with both of you, with how much you are pouring yourself into what you do and the amount of care that goes into that. I love it. I'm so glad you guys are here and able to share that with everybody. And we just have a few minutes left here. I'm wondering if I can give you each, about 60 seconds here to give some final thoughts of what you'd like as take-home messages for everybody. Shirley, can we start with you?
I think you're wonderful. When somebody says that to me, I feel wonderful, as wonderful can be. That's my message.
I love that.
Way to go.
I know somebody earlier had mentioned about smiling at the person walking by. I always say, if that person doesn't have a smile, give them yours. Share it. That one I heard somewhere along the way, and it's always stuck with me. I love that. Actually, Lily, what do you have for some final thoughts for us?
My final thought is we only have one life to live. We're only here for now. When we gone, we're gone. That's it. So make an effort to live better, look better, feel better. Take care of your health by making use of pure supplements, whole foods that are going to help you. And if it's not you, I'm sure you know someone else who can benefit from that.
And Emily, I'm going to bring you back in as well. What do you have to share with us tonight? What are some impressions you got from tonight? Some thoughts you'd like to share?
Well, just kind of being yourself, and you're the only you in the whole world. So if you're not being you, then I don't know. Everything that they so is very important, and taking care of yourself and kind of thing too. So
excellent. All right, and actually, Kurt, you're getting your turn at 60 seconds here as well. What do you have to say tonight?
I'm being timed, folks. So I got to keep her under 60 seconds. We'll see if we can get this done. All right. Well, I got to say, I can't say enough about community radio, River West Radio crew. To me, it's all about fun. What's fun gets done. And lately, I've been hearing this phrase, teamwork works. And so that's why, like, when we have these shows, that we've got a little bit of a huddle. A lot of shows do the one-to-one, which is great. And sometimes we end up that way here at AbilityMKE Now. But I'm all about the power groups, power numbers, like 3,800 co-op members at the Happy Co-op. So, and we're branching off. We're working on an event that is due to have about 1,000 people at an in-person event, about 1,000 people virtually, and a lot more that you're going to be hearing more about in the weeks ahead with more shows at AbilityMKE Now. Sue, back to you.
Awesome. I am so happy that you were all able to come here tonight and be with us as part of our AbilityMKE Now family. Because you guys are family now. You're welcome to join us anytime. You know where to find us.
Mm-hmm.
Emily, one thing that you had said that always kind of strikes me too, the whole thing about there's only one of you. Whether you were looking at an aspect of yourself that you consider an ability or a disability or whatever label you want to put on it, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's just who you are. We all know ourselves to have strengths and weaknesses, and it's like I might be good at water skiing, but I really am not good at football, or, you know, just as a basic example. I know, drop your jaw there. We all have our own personal strengths inside and out. And that's what we need to look at about each other and respect with each other, is just what do we bring to the table? We all bring something different, and it's all of value. And to be able to look at each other and recognize the value that each of us brings is huge. So my name again is Sue Roskoff, and for all of us here at AbilityMKE Now, we thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It was
Appreciate it.
wonderful, wonderful to meet all of you. It's delightful. It was just like heaven.
There we go.
I love
We
it.
always say from Milwaukee, it's a local call to heaven. So
Yeah.
that's apropos.
There you go, Shirley.
Recording stopped.